Alrighty, so we got one entrance here. I came a little bit different, but if you come from the Perry Courthouse, which is down at that street, the Perry Courthouse is over there in Perry Parkway. This is the first entrance of the neighborhood. So I'm gonna show you exactly what we got here driving through the neighborhood, because they are all previously built by the same builder, and they are, currently they are extending the neighborhood Evington Chase. They do not have sidewalks in Evington Chase here, but they are all, pretty taken care. See, this is probably a sign that the covenants and restrictions are not as bad, but we will see. It could be that they have different covenants and restrictions for each part of the neighborhood, like other neighborhoods have. For example, in the Woodlands, you got covenants and restrictions for the whole neighborhood, and then they have covenants and restrictions for each and every single phase on or in the neighborhood. Okay, so, but we'll check it out. Here's the stop sign, and you can see there's a police officer, which is always great. And here is where the new part of the neighborhood starts. Those are all new constructions over here, as you can see. And we're gonna find 509. That should be that blue one right there in front of us, if I'm not mistaken. And we're gonna see if it's it's the blue one over there. It's not that dark blue or purplish looking. It's this one right there. This should be 509. So this one is 509. So I'm gonna cut these videos together, but I'm gonna go and open it first, and then I start shooting, and then I'll cut those both together so we have one consistent video for this. Alrighty, so I open everything up, so the video begins from here. As you can see, you have a bunch of them being built over here, and this is the one you like. There is a little bit of the grass, as you can see, that might needs to be fixed a little bit. It could also be because it's dormant and the weather didn't know what to do, but it also looks like someone drove over the corner. So we'll see how that is when it settles, but it is freshly laid, as you can see, because of the seams and stuff. Just so you know, they have like a tree in the front yard, and you have this landscaping with pine straw. You know how they do. Pine straw is like the thing here. And then here is what the front of the house looks like. Those are, I would say those are like vinyl pillars. You got the vinyl over here up top. You got the front door. You got this little front porch area. There is a little bit of paint or, from thing that needs to be cleaned up over here for sure. Everything else, this is hardy board, or this is actually wood board. This is pre-treated, so it's not hardy on the front. As you can see, they do not have gutters over here, so there are no gutters. That's just the thing in Georgia, as you know. And I'm gonna walk with you so you can see this needs to be fixed. Someone ran this over, or it's not set yet correctly, which is the sprinkler system. On this side you have the cement boards, and they all look flush. There is a nick in here, as you can see. I'll point everything out already, but it could be that the board came that way. It's not like the board has been damaged. So that could be it. Down here, is a little gap that would need to be caulked. And then this is a big old bug. I thought it might be something else. But then you can see the hardy board. You have the picture frame fence. They are concrete thin. I know a lot of builders don't do it that way. You do have this overlap over here, and that is on every corner because this one is angled a little bit towards the hardy board and the top is pretty straight, which is not a bad thing at all. It's just the way it looks. So with that being said, everything over here looks pretty good. You can see on top maybe that hardy board has a little bit bigger gap the way it is set, but it doesn't mean that there is a gap actually between the boards. So it doesn't mean that it is a bad thing, but that an inspector can take a look at that. And I'm not an inspector. I gotta always point that out. I'm not an inspector. I'm just pointing out the obvious. So, windows, there are no screens for the windows. I gotta ask them if there are gonna be screens on the windows, if they do that or not. There are definitely, the thing for the screens is there, but I don't have screens. So you got a pretty long driveway, and it is moving away from this house, so you don't have a water issue here. On this side, we'll go again on the bottom, right here again. That can be caulked along that way, should be caulked. There is a little chip over here that should be fixed. It's not completed completely yet, so as you can see, it's not everything set up yet. You do have the AC unit, which is on a pedestal. It is a little bit crooked, so that needs to be leveled because it's tilting this way, but that is definitely a thing that can be pointed out. And then you got one gate over here, and that's it. We're gonna walk. See, this is just a little bit caulking work. There is this drip edge there. This is for letting the water run off and not getting behind it, but a little bit of caulk would also help here. And then you got the back gate. I'm gonna move in here. The grass is a little bit higher than the gate, so this needs to be pushed down a bit, maybe lift the gate or sand it down on that spot so it can actually be pulled and not stuck here. Again, caulking, this is it, and then this is dirt, but caulking, and then you have the back over here. It's fairly flat. It does slope this way, so it goes that direction. From that direction, it does slope, but it's fairly straight. You get the clean out. There's the propane hookup for the fireplace. It's a propane fireplace, and then you got the back patio, which this would have to be inspected if there needs to be a step down or not. Because it seems a little bit high over there, but I mean, that can be figured out with an inspection as well. And now I'm gonna give you the all over around of the yard so you can see. Sprinkler system is there. This fence, it's an older section, an older house that was built, so this fence, if that is treated with bleach and water, and let sink and spray down, it looks almost as new as the other ones. Or it will get painted over time, of course. But you can see there is a slight slope down this way. Again, there is no gutters, so not a water hookup here. And this looks all good. And then you get an outlet over here, outdoor outlet. A little bit of paint or something dripped on there. And then the door, you cannot see through it, which is good. And we'll check that on the other side. There's another outlet over here, outdoor outlet that is put in for TV. Another little spot of dirt or paint over here. Everything else looks really, really good. So now, after this, we are going to get in the house so you can see all the stuff. Gate works. Like I said, it just needs a little bit of adjustment so it's not pushing in there. Everything over there's another outlet over here, and then we'll go through the garage. So you see, 2-car garage. There is some mortar that needs to be cleaned up. Outside needs to be cleaned up. This board is not sticking correctly, so there is some stuff that's dented over here. So there is some stuff that needs to be cleaned. You see it over here as well. It dripped over, but they're still working, so I wouldn't be too concerned about it. They did leave a gap between the board and the concrete. That's always good. That's supposed to be that way, so they don't rot from the bottom if water drips in there. Everything else here looks good. It's a nice big 2-car garage, to be honest. It is a really nice big 2-car garage. You got the sprinkler system over here. You got 1, 2, and 3 outlets in the garage total. Breaker box, of course. And this one has the water heater in the garage, which, you know, in your last house, the water heater was upstairs, which a lot of times concerns people because if it leaks into the ceiling. This one would leak in the garage, less damage. So I have this little closet. I'm gonna do, since we're a thorough, we're gonna pull this down and I'm gonna go and look up in the attic. So, Masterpiece Construction does one cool thing. They actually put sturdier stairs into attic ladders with a grip there, which you don't get actually with others. It's great that they do that. And then up here, let me see, of course, light switch is over there. And now this over here is all air handler and attic storage. There is no plywood over there, as you can see, but from right here, from the stairs, all the way to back here and around is plywood for storage. So, with that being said, it also looks like they did a good job with the attic ductwork, and a lot of times they tightened it so tight that you have actually a problem with air flowing through because they pinch off the ductwork, and they didn't do that here. They use LED lights, so they don't use the old ones anymore. Everything in the house is pretty much LED. Of course, got a garage door opener, and again, we're gonna do a light pin so you see what's going on. So we got the garage. Now, this door is a self-closing door. Garage door just needs a little bit WD-40. As you saw or heard, it's squeaking. And we're gonna do that again. WD-40. So, not a big issue. Does have alarm system. They put that in there. I don't know what the requirement for it is, but just so you know, I didn't turn on this light. See, got a nice bright LED light here. You got the floor. There's a little bit of paint over here, and still a little bit dirt along the baseboards. And this is a little bit dirt. And there you have the door, also a little bit mortar, it seems. And there's also some on the tile. So you come in from the garage, which is over here, and then you got the living room space entryway over here. And you got the laundry room over here with a little mud bench with some hooks, outlet, washer, and dryer. And what I like that they do is they push the dryer vent further into the wall over there, so it's easier to connect. Because, you know, if that sticks out like this, the whole washer and dryer are gonna, or the whole dryer is gonna stick out more. Tile looks all good, all even over here. Baseboards in quarter rounds, and then you got another outlet underneath here as well, and you got a little bit of storage over there. And then from here you got the main bedroom, which this is the master looking out to the back. This is a nice size bedroom for a 1,500 square foot home. On this floor plan, which is the Mary floor plan, you have a little bit bigger rooms due to 1,500 square foot and 3 bedrooms. You got the double retracted ceilings, a ceiling fan. Yeah, the only thing that is, if you have or want the bed between the windows, it's not going to fit between the windows. The bed is literally within the window. Or you put the bed on this side, and this is, I think, how it is actually intended, because you got an outlet here and an outlet here. So the intention of this floor plan is to have the bed on this side of the wall, but you could also put it over here because you have 1 outlet and 2 outlet under the windows, but the bed would be covering half of the window probably. There are a lot of outlets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 outlets in the main bedroom. That's a lot of outlets. Let me see, put this down a little bit so you can see me as kind of like a good measurement, because you know how tall I am, how big that room actually is. And it's a big master for the 1,500 square foot. So let me look around here. Everything here looks good. Do you see anything? That's a ladybug in here, but that's normal. I don't see anything don't feel anything on the flooring either. Flooring looks like they did a really good job. And then you got the closet, main closet over here. So this is a fairly big closet. You got like 1 section over here with racks, and then you got 1 section over here. So this is a fairly big closet for a 1,500 square foot home. And you got ventilated, so there is air coming through in the closet. Don't see anything over here. I did notice that this outlet is a little bit offset, so a little bit turned to the right and it would be straight. And then we do have the main bedroom. This is what you have a lot of times. There's some little nicks. That's just how the wood works. This one needs to be adjusted. That's the wrong catch plate. So see that, but going in, we got the potty, bathroom, tile, same as in the laundry. You got the double vanity with the sink and the mirror. That needs to be adjusted. That's a little crooked, and that's a little crooked as well. So those need to be adjusted. Water works, and this works as well. You look over here, the knob is crooked, needs to be adjusted. And one thing I will probably do is put one of those stoppers right there, because otherwise it's hitting there. This is soft close, closed drawers, soft closed doors. There is no water leak, and as you can see, you got soft closed doors and soft closed drawers. There's a little nick in the wall over here, and then these, I don't know if they forgot the hardware, probably. I would assume they forgot the hardware, because otherwise you cannot open them. I'm pretty sure they forgot the hardware, but you got 3 drawers over here. They're built very decent. All soft close. And then, so 2 bigger ones, 1 smaller one. Check this one. Oh, look at that, hot water is off. This works as well. Hot water is off. Hot water is turned off. No leak. Everything here looks good as well. Soft close. And then everything down here looks good as well. There's a little, paint. Some things over here that need to be fixed, definitely. Everything up here looks good as well. And then you got the shower over here, rain head shower. Let me see, there is no separate light. So you only got this light that is also in the shower, which makes the shower a little bit darker in the back than in the front. But you got the shower over here. You got a little seat. You got this wood-looking tile, which is actually pretty great. Looks actually really good. And of course, that works and drips. And this works as well. And then, yeah, that works as intended. They don't have the top bar on there yet, so I'm sure they're not done. But that needs to be taken care of. There is a little bit mortar overspill or crowd overspill here in that corner, definitely. And then again, you got main bedroom over here, and we're going from the main bedroom. We got garage again, laundry room, main bedroom, walk-in closet, and bathroom towards the back. And then we're coming into the living room space, entry space, kitchen, dining room space. So all in one. I don't know, why is this off? This worked, I had it on. There you go. So you got the front door, 2 windows to the front. They did put in covered ceilings over here in this front chandelier. And then you got the living room space over here that flows into the kitchen. A gas fireplace. I saw the gas hookup outside. Got the cable for the TV over here. And then this would be where the couch would be. And right when you come in the door, and then you walk in, you got the kitchen. And this is kind of your dining room space. And the space is a little bit, where the way the light is put, this is a little bit small here right in front of this door that goes out to the backyard. But it is doable. We can also move it a little bit over here. So it's 1,500 square foot. It's not massively big, and that's why this area is the way it is intended to be: kitchen, living room space, and your dining room nook. Now, I said we're gonna look again. I do see a gap right here. there is a gap. So that would need to addressed. It's double doors though, so you can open them and double door, open everything up, which is neat to have. They lock and close. This one works well as well. Looks everything good. And then you got kitchen space. You got the white quartz with this. It's nice looking, what is that, leaf looking backsplash. You got a outlet with USB. And one thing that I think is kind of cool is Jeanette designs those, and I've never seen those, as end pieces, the quartz. And then you have the same over here as well. And then you got this darker on the island, which is a long, long island. This is really, you can fit 1, 2, 3, 4 bar stools on here. So this is pretty long. Open up. Soft close. Everything looking good. They all work and there's nothing wrong with them. Got some space for pots and pans. Also, soft close. Again, there's some dirt. Needs to be cleaned. And then down here, the same. This is crooked. This board is crooked in there. But it's also something that can be fixed. Soft close works. And then we got over here, cabinetry top. Also looks good, nothing broken. They go all the way to the top, which is also kind of cool. And they have this trim piece. That is happening because it doesn't stop. So you need to put like a stop or a rubber thing on there so it doesn't hit the backside all the time. Also looking good. And then you got a pantry. It's not the biggest pantry, but it is technically a walk-in pantry because you can stand in there and there's a bunch of shelves in there. So got a walk-in pantry over here. And over here you got more storage. You got cabinet over here. Everything looks good. They did put the rubber pieces inside so it doesn't slam, which is good. Same over here. Everything looks really good. Over here, always looking if the knobs align here. They do align. So this is like the Madison cabinet, but it's, you know, they can also always be adjusted. One thing that I always check on those is if they align with each other right here. And you see there's a little bit like here it would be perfect, but they are pretty aligned over here. This is where the fridge would be. This outlet is a little bit crooked. You got some more drawers. This is all warranties and stuff in here. Garage door opener. This is GE. I don't even know what it is. It is, where does it say what it is? I gotta check. They all look good. And then you got the cabinet over here. There's nothing wrong with the cabinet. There's only that one that has the crooked board. Also looks good. Oh, it's Frigidaire. It's the Frigidaire cooktop. They have the microwave down here, which for some people that might be a little bit low, but this is how they build them in. You got the dishwasher over here, which is also a Frigidaire line. And then more drawers. Trash can, double trash can is also something builders don't really do anymore. And then you got under the microwave, small drawer, Frigidaire microwave, pretty nice. And then you got this farmhouse sink, nice fixture. It works. I'll turn it off. And now there you got 2 outlets. And you got water hookup. Nothing leaking. Everything looking good over here. And you do have the push button, which is also dirt over here. Needs to be cleaned. But you have a push button for the disposal, which is working. And this is an upgrade. Usually all the builders upgrade this nowadays. Then here you got the pendulum lights. They're a little bit different color than the others. And this bulb is in there crooked. So I don't know how that can be adjusted. Maybe the light, how it's adjusted in there, but pointing it out. Then you got fan outside, nice filter new, pretty much everything. And then you got that all over here. There is some stuff that needs to be fixed. There's also dirt that they need to fix. And you got can lights in here as well, 3. But as you can see, those are daylight and they're bright white. And then, of course, smooth, dark quartz. Now, we're gonna move over here. This is, by the way, a regular fridge size with the water hookup over here. And then thermostat is over here, right in this hallway. So there's no thermostat over there. The thermostat is over here in this hallway. And you got bedroom number 2 over here, which is a decent size wall closet. They do have retracted ceilings in these bedrooms, and they are about 11 by 11 in size. So pretty standard for a new construction home now with bedrooms. But you do have, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outlets in here. So there is a bunch of outlets in this house, in the rooms. Also, this closes correctly. This needs to be adjusted because it's not latching, but there's a ball over here that you just turn and then it pushes it out. Also a little bit of dirt on that door. As you can see, there is a gap. So the doors do not go all the way. And one reason is because they're standard size and the LVP is not as high as carpet, for example. Carpet is a little bit more plush, a little bit more thick. And if there was carpet in here, and then the doors would be not looking like there was that much of a gap. Everything over here looks also good. I don't see anything in here. Then you do have the bathroom. Bathroom number 2. It's the same tile. You got the potty, you got the quartz countertop. Also, light fixture again needs to be adjusted. It's a little tilted. This one is not done yet. That fan needs to be popped in. Like I said, they're still working on it. Also, you got drawer number 1. Works perfectly. A little bit of dirt on there, a little bit of dirt on here. Drawer number 2. Drawer number 3. So they are still working. As you can see, there's that quarter round needs to be added. This needs to be straightened up. And then we do the same thing. Water's running, hot water is on. And it's holding water. So we got cold, warm, everything works. And then there is no leak over here and everything looks good over here. This is normal. This is where they drilled in the framing. So that is just a normal drill hole. Could have been done a little bit nicer, but it's normal. And then they need to add this quarter round in here. Like I said, they're still working on it. You do have shower tub combo. It does not come with a shower curtain, but you do have water running. It is holding the water, and then water spraying. Everything works. One thing is always with those, that you gotta make sure that they don't drip on the back wall when they stop, because if they drip for a little bit, and a lot of times the water is running back here, and then they drip on the back panel, and then water sits over here, and then at one point the sheetrock is rotting, but this one does not drip over there. Again, we got a linen closet with some shelving, and this is where internet and stuff comes in. It's like the multimedia closet. Internet would be put in here, and the rest is wired for the rest of the house. Then you do have another lemon closet over here with some shelving. They use all these, just so you know, the stoppers. So if you slam the door, you can put some dents in there. And then we got bedroom number 3, and the last one in the house, also retracted ceiling. Same size. It looks a little bit different because the other one has like an entryway, a little bit longer, but this is more square than the other one. Also probably 11 by 11. And then you got a closet, of course. There goes. It's a standard walk closet. There's nothing really special about it other than it has rags, but it's just a standard walk closet. They are that way. Use again, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 outlets in this, or no, 6 outlets in this room as well. And then windows all look really good. So yeah, I did look as much as I can. There's a little bit, you know, is from this rubbing off. You see a little bit of this from, you know, that's just the way it is. But everything that I see, I pointed out everything that I saw within now about 40 minutes walking through that home. And of course, an inspection would give us a little bit more intel on everything. But there's no gap on the door, which is great. So there's no airflow coming through. You know, we did that on your house. Changed that. There is paint on there from when they painted the outside of the door. So this would need to be cleaned up. But all in all, this is 509 New Hope. And I hope I could give you as much intel on it as possible with this.